I'm absolutely not going to let you walk into 2026 being anxiously attached in your relationships anymore. I'm creating an entire guide and lecture series where we are going to get to the root of your anxious attachment and completely heal it. My name is Elena. I'm a therapist, and let me tell you a little bit about my experience with anxious attachment style while I straighten my hair. Earlier this year, I completely changed my anxious attachment style. I will get super in depth in my lecture series, which is going to come out next week, but this is really what clicked for me. I was going through a series of relationships where I found myself fairly anxiously attached. However, outside of my relationships, I was pretty avoidant with all my friends or secure. After a couple things happened earlier in the year and I got out of a specific relationship, I realized that it is no one's job to regulate me. I'm not a baby. The problem with being anxiously attached is that I was constantly seeking regulation from my partners. What I noticed is that it was so difficult to have good relationships and healthy relationships because I was making it extremely challenging for my partner to manage because I was so obsessive, I was intrusive, I wanted to know everything. I was constantly requesting so much access and I had absolutely no way of regulating anything myself. The tiniest shift in their behavior would sort of set me off and I would expect them to kind of bring me down to baseline. In a way, I was kind of overstepping my partner's boundaries time and time again, and my excuse was that, I just can't manage my own anxiety. What's important to note is that your partner actually may be the sole contributor of your anxious attachment. I've been in relationships where I was absolutely securely attached, but that's because my partner, in a way, didn't ever do anything to make me feel anxious. However, in life, we can't control what other people do. So regardless of what your partner does, the goal is to eliminate that anxious attachment so that you can feel secure no matter what. Doesn't mean tolerating someone's bad behavior. It doesn't mean sticking around if you're not getting what you want, but it means being able to very clearly communicate what it is that you're looking for and set your boundaries and not react with so much emotion and anxiety. And if you still aren't getting what you want out of the relationship, feeling confident to leave. My anxiety was stemming from a lack of control. Anytime my partner did something that I didn't really like, or I didn't know what the outcome was, or whatever it is, right? Oh, they don't call me back, or they don't text back fast enough, or they cancel a plan, whatever it may be. For me, it was a lack of control, and that lack of control was tied in fear. And that fear stemmed from the fact that I just didn't trust myself to be able to manage whatever that anxiety was bringing. So, for example, I didn't trust that I could manage the outcome if my partner decided to walk away and leave. I just didn't trust that I could do that. Another thing I recognized is that I absolutely despised when people were anxiously attached to me because it was so overwhelming. And I just felt like there's no reason that someone should be this involved in my life and be this worked up over me. So in a way, seeing that parallel really helped me too. Took me a couple weeks to really understand and unlearn everything, and then I started putting it into practice throughout the year. And yes, of course, the anxiety sometimes comes up here and there. I've in a way kind of mastered my emotions and dealing with it. Next week I'm going to launch a full lecture series. It's going to be really long, so I don't know if I should do it all in one part. It'll probably be like 30-40 minutes, or if I should break it up into multiple parts. There's also going to be like an actual guide and everything that goes along with it. So follow me for that, and let's all go into the new year feeling nice and secure.